we are going to recontextualize human anatomy. It isn't just flesh and bone, it's literally the most advanced, highly sophisticated piece of technology in existence. Let's decode the core principles of human physiology and see exactly how our own organic hardware outpaces absolutely anything built in a lab.
Okay, let's take a quick look at today's schematic. We'll be covering 1. The ultimate operating system. 2. The biological black box. 3. The relentless human engine. And finally, 4. Defense and repair protocols. All right, let's start right at the foundation. Section 1. The ultimate operating system.
When you look at the microscopic structure of our tissue, it's just mind-blowing. You're seeing how millions of cellular components seamlessly integrate. I mean, it's estimated the human body operates using over 30 trillion cells. 30 trillion. And this is not just some random collection of matter. It is a highly organized architecture. Cells bind together to form tissues, tissues combine to build organs, and those organs sync up into perfectly calibrated organ systems. But here's the crucial point. This entire hardware system is governed by a concept called homeostasis. Think of homeostasis as the ultimate automated balancing mechanism. Your body is constantly, tirelessly making real-time adjustments through what we call negative feedback controls. So think about when you sweat on a hot summer day or shiver when it's freezing out. That is your body's automated negative feedback system instantly recalibrating your core temperature. It does whatever it takes to keep you alive and maintain perfect stability, totally regardless of what's happening in the outside environment.
Moving on to our central processor, Section 2, the biological black box. This brings us to a really fascinating contrast between artificial intelligence models and the organic hardware of the human mind. See, we've managed to build these incredible artificial neural networks using code and algorithms, all running on inorganic silicon. But the actual blueprint for that technology, it's our own brain. We're talking about an unbelievably complex organic network of neurons that communicate by firing off rapid electrical pulses. In a very real sense, we are the prototype for modern computing.
And as this quote points out, even as we develop this highly advanced AI that can learn all on its own, its internal reasoning becomes a black box. It gets so complex that even the experts can't easily explain how it makes decisions. But you know what? That totally mirrors our own biology. Certain neuronal pathways inside our heads remain a complete mystery to us, despite all our advanced medical imaging and the crazy fact that it runs on roughly the power of a dim light bulb. The human brain remains the absolute ultimate, most mysterious black box in existence.
So what powers all this? Let's get into Section 3, the relentless human engine. Let's talk about the heart. Try not to think of it just as a muscle, but as a relentless, unstoppable engine executing 4 critical functions to keep your entire system online. First, it dynamically scales your blood supply based on whether you're resting or running a marathon. Second, it acts as a mechanical pump to generate the exact blood pressure needed for flow. Third, it uses an intricate network of valves to strictly enforce a one-way street. And fourth, it perfectly separates your fresh, oxygenated blood from your depleted blood. It's a masterclass in fluid dynamics. But how does this engine actually fire? Well, it doesn't just squeeze randomly. It relies on a built-in intrinsic conduction system. This is made of specialized tissue, kind of like a cross between muscle and nerve, that fires electrical impulses in an exact, highly systematic sequence. It starts up at the SA node, and then the electrical wave cascades down through the AV node, the bundles, and finally the Purkinje fibers. This highly specific pathway creates a coordinated ringing contraction that forcefully ejects blood out of the heart. And the timing of this electrical sequence? Immaculate. The SA node acts as the system's absolute pacemaker. Because it has the highest rate of depolarization, it gets to dictate the rhythm for the entire organ. It enforces a highly regulated rate, averaging about 70 to 76 beats per minute in a normal resting person. Think about that for a second. That is over 100,000 perfectly timed electrical pulses happening inside your chest every single day. So, with the engine firing that smoothly, we have to trace how it physically routes the fluid necessary to keep your tissues oxygenated. The big question is, how does this mechanical pump ensure a perfectly balanced, oxygen-rich circulatory loop? The secret here is that the right and left sides of the heart actually operate in parallel as a closed transport loop. It's brilliant. Oxygen-poor blood is pulled in through the vena cava into the right side of the heart, which then forcefully pumps it straight to the lungs. Once there, the fluid gets recharged with oxygen. It then shoots back to the left side of the heart via the pulmonary vein, where the left ventricle violently ejects it out through the aorta to nourish your entire body. It's a completely uninterrupted, perfectly sealed loop of supply and demand.
Of course, any system this advanced needs top-tier security. Section 4. Defense and Repair Protocols.
Our biological firewall basically operates in two distinct modes. First up, we have non-specific defenses. Think of these as the physical barricades and the general rapid response alarms that keep everyday pathogens out. But when a specific threat manages to break through, the specific defenses activate. This is a highly targeted immune response utilizing specialized B and T lymphocytes. They literally hunt down, neutralize, and even remember very specific microscopic invaders so they can't sneak up on you again.
And looking at this complex microscopic terrain, you're basically seeing the actual battleground where these specialized cells patrol. When pathogens enter, or when tissue is damaged, this intricate network of capillaries and cells transforms into a highly active zone. It's where structural repairs happen and where the immune system deploys its heavy hitters.
But what happens when the physical hardware is actually breached? Well, the body initiates hemostasis. This is an incredible automated sequence that instantly seals and repairs the damage. First, the blood vessel itself spasms to restrict blood flow, literally clamping down. Next, platelets rush in to form a temporary plug. Finally, a complex cascade of reactions forms a sturdy blood clot to permanently seal the breach, while the tissue regenerates underneath. Your body literally manufactures its own packing material right on demand. Honestly, think about that the next time you get a simple paper cut. Your body initiates a microscopic construction site in a matter of seconds.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought. We spend so much time looking outward at the technology we build, trying our best to replicate the genius of nature. But from the intrinsic electrical rhythms of the heart to the highly targeted precision strikes of our immune system, we are carrying the ultimate frontier of scientific engineering inside us every single day. If our own bodies are the most sophisticated self-repairing machines ever created, what hidden capabilities of our biological black box are we yet to decode? Keep that in mind the next time you take a simple breath or feel your pulse. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.